Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geekonomics. We're back. It's another week. It's another show. It was quite the week. A lot happened. We'll be talking about all of it and more here on the podcast. Brian's here. I'm here. Producer Josh is here.
Seducer
Not calling him that. Don't say that. No one wants to hear that.
All right, he's not the seducer
No,
producer.
he's just Producer Josh. It's
Producer
a terrible
Josh.
name. I have nothing to do with this, Josh, by the way.
Josh, we do appreciate you.
I have to say this every time we do the show.
Because
He's been here all the time. It's not like it's like,
I know.
Stop.
yeah.
Hammer
That's
time.
weird.
All right.
Collaborate and listen.
Ice is back with a brand new edition.
Hey, we're going to get copyright
Copyright
strike.
strike. Knock it off.
Stop. All right.
You only can do 30 seconds. You can do 30 seconds.
We have a lot to talk about.
We do. A lot has happened.
A lot has happened.
Natural disasters, supernatural phenomenon,
Yeah.
and so much more.
So much more.
Snow.
Snow.
So
Yeah.
now
Now it's 70 degrees outside today.
we got some TV news. We got major events that happened. And then we're
Yes.
going to jump into our breakdown of WrestleMania.
Yes.
And
And
then
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
Or RAM, as I've heard it called on the interwebs.
Ram.
The Raw
What?
after Mania.
I've never heard it called Ram, but
The one news site I listen to every morning.
so I'm going to rattle off real quickly the major events that happened. If anybody wants to talk about them, feel free. But between last show and this show,
Brian lost his virginity.
I lost my virginity. No,
Congratulations, Brian.
thank you. I've
You only
been
married
working
for-
on it for
been married
years.
for almost 6 years, and it finally happened.
Only 15 years with my wife,
Yes,
and
it
you know,
finally happened.
Finally happened.
Oh, what a day.
And it was a pure.
All you had to do was fix the toilet and take care of that gate, and you got it taken
What
care of.
was the
take
other
care of.
thing? Oh, yeah, bed.
Yeah.
All right. So on Friday, New Jersey had an earthquake, and we had.
Yes. Well, the Earth had an earthquake. It just happened to be underneath New Jersey. Technically.
Well, it is New Jersey.
Yes.
So there was an earthquake.
Like I
and
said, it's God's way of saying New Jersey, you should not exist.
Friday was the phrase, "Did you feel that?" That was the phrase everybody was asking everybody. Did you feel that? And it seems so wrong. There's a news clip.
I'm not using any of the jokes in my head right now.
There's a news
show is PG.
highlight reel of all the news people asking other people, "Did you feel that?" "I didn't feel that." And of course, place your own jokes in there.
Well, the best was the news that felt it but didn't report it because they weren't sure. Fox
Yes.
literally stopped. Like, you see the people stop on the broadcast and they keep going.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, they went, "Oh, it was an earthquake."
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that was.
I
that-
felt it. Claire did not. She was literally like less than a couple miles away from me.
Allison, her office is above the garage, so she felt the house shake. And I was at Stop and Shop, and she texted me. She's like, "Did you just feel the earth shake, or or should I see
Oh,
a
no,
doctor?"
Brian wasn't home. She felt the earth shake.
We're having equilibrium issues?
Yeah. As I'm walking around Stop and Shop, people's phones are ringing, and all I could hear is the people at Stop Shop going, "No, I didn't feel anything." It was the big.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. So we had that happen.
Yes.
And then,
I
of
was
course-
sitting in front of my television having breakfast
Yeah.
with the cat, and the cat jumped off her tree and like stood in between the kitchen and the bathroom, kitchen and the living room. It was like looking at me like pensively, and I was like, "What's going on?" Then like 2 seconds later, I started to feel like I was on a boat and like their stuff's going like this.
That was
for,
the
like,
weird
30
thing.
seconds,
Was
and
that
I was
feeling?
like, "What?"
Now,
So then I called Josh and I was like, "Hey,
did you feel
guys
that?
just have an earthquake?"
Did you feel that?
I'm not going nuts, right? You always try to go to the person
Well,
that
the
you
best-
know you could check with. That's not going to be like, "You're insane." If you say something, you just be like, "Did this happen to you too?" Because if it happened to you, then I know it's okay, and I know I had it.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
I called Kylie,
Yeah.
who's in town.
yeah,
No. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? I'm like, what?
yeah. Because I texted Claire and she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." But then I remembered her office is like half of it is underground, and then like the other half is like where her window is for her office.
Yeah.
is like the sidewalk
Oh,
outside
so
her office.
she probably wouldn't feel that.
So she's like embedded in the ground, so it
Yeah.
didn't really. She didn't feel anything.
It was
But-
crazy.
Yeah.
So the Earth was like, "Hey, we're gonna give you a surprise," and then yesterday,
Hey.
the sun and the moon were like, "Hold my beer.
Yes.
We're gonna give you a solar eclipse."
Yeah.
Which I got glasses from work. They handed it
Yeah.
out to everybody.
Yeah.
So I got to sit outside and
Yeah.
watch it for a
Yeah.
little bit.
I did as well because it's nice because the sun's literally you walk outside the door of the bunker, and the sun's literally right there. So
Yeah.
I was able to go outside. I did accidentally lock myself out of the office for a couple seconds, but then realized I had a spare key in my pocket, so I was able to get back in. But besides that, everything was great.
And of course, I
My
don't know
sister-in-law drove all the way to Vermont. Her and her family went all the way up to Vermont.
Yeah, I just
For 4 minutes.
it just seems like a waste of time to me. To each
She
their
said it
own.
was life-changing,
Oh, well,
being
then-
underneath, like, in the totality.
yeah.
And that's the thing I've heard. Like, I watched CNN, basically was on from 1 o'clock
God.
to 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And, like, did the whole thing.
Yes.
And I had
put it-
NASA on at the same time because we air NASA when there's no shows on one of our channels. So I was watching NASA's version and then watching them at the same time because they were like sharing feeds basically.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like watching that, and it was crazy to see the different, like each place's like different response to it. But,
Yeah. The Today Show came on, and everybody from the Today Show
Yeah.
covered it, and they were talking about how it was really cool. And they were
Yeah.
in New York. I think they were upstate New York or
yeah,
something.
Yeah. Well, like
And-
Niagara Falls didn't
Niagara,
really get it
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was too cloudy there. But
Yeah. And
I know some people who drove all the way up there and
Did you
Saw
hear about?
nothing.
Did you hear about the train? People took a train out of
Yeah.
New York for like $4,000 to
and
take a
saw
whole
nothing.
thing up there with like gourmet meals and everything.
Yeah.
To get to Niagara Falls, couldn't see it.
yeah.
Well, also people were in planes, and they did plane flights on
Yeah.
purpose,
Yeah.
where they actually got to see it happen longer
Yeah.
because the
They're
flight was
flying
happening with
the flight path.
the
yeah.
path, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
And
And then
but,
yeah. I know Indianapolis Speedway
Yeah.
had the biggest crowd, 40,000 people.
Oh wow! So it was
I'm like-
over then.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
went right over to Indianapolis. So,
They even had like
Nice.
Indy cars and the Indy 500 trophy there.
yeah, they had like
and
a
like-
whole event. They made a
And,
whole event out of it.
What's
which
his
is
face
cool.
from the Weather Channel was there? Joe Cantori.
Yeah,
Thunder Snow guy.
yeah,
He was there. Like,
yeah,
"Rah!"
yeah. So it was pretty neat. That part of it was cool, seeing all the
Thunder
different.
Snow guy.
But
Yeah, so that happened. We had WrestleMania over the
yeah.
weekend.
Next one's 2044.
Yeah,
That's gonna be over America.
50.
There'll be other ones.
Well,
but-
yeah, but the next big one is going to be like they said, 55 years,
Yeah,
something like
20
that.
years over North America.
Yeah, different paths.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
never
yeah.
the same path.
Exactly. I know, but
Yeah. There's only one area this year or this time around where like there's one in 2017 and the one this year, and there was like one area where it like had gone over twice the same path, like it intersected like one space of the country. They're selling twice in a lifetime t-shirts.
and they'll sell 3 times in a lifetime.
If it happens again, yeah.
Yeah,
If it
yeah.
does, yeah.
And then yesterday, Yukon men won
Last night, yeah.
the champs.
Yeah.
The women unfortunately lost, but the men brought it
Yes,
home.
They lost in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the team that they lost to lost. So
Well, there you go.
are you taking a picture of us or a picture of yourself?
Don't worry about what Josh is doing.
Well, he's like, I thought he
Don't
was taking
worry
a
about
picture of me. I was like, are you,
Don't.
I'll look pretty.
So the Yukon men's won. This is now their second champ in a row, right?
Yes, twice in a row,
twice in a
sixth
row.
all time.
Yeah, really cool. So congratulations to them.
Yes.
Really cool.
Women have 10.
The women have 10.
Yes.
And the men have 6.
Yes.
Well, the women are better.
Well, they've been, better
um,
longer, I should say.
yeah. But anyway, it was quite the eventful
Wouldn't
week.
this be 17 now?
No, this was the sixth for the men. That
No, because
won
they already
last
have
night.
16 banners hanging up.
Why do we give Josh a mic?
I don't know. You gave it to him.
Like, all right, we don't.
Whichever,
we
16
don't-
or 17, who cares?
It's fine.
No,
it's
it's
fine.
all right.
We don't want to argue about it.
No
No,
one cares.
I broke in because I forgot to turn the timer on. I was trying to see if I could see the clock on the recording.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay. All right. So those are all the major events that happened between the last show and this show,
Yes.
which is quite a lot. Which is
Yes.
just, and then spring has sprung today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful
yeah, it's
out.
like 70
finally,
degrees outside today.
we went from snow, rain to cold
Yeah.
to a beautiful day. Thank God.
Welcome to New England.
Yeah,
as
welcome
they
to
say.
New England. Also, TV news. I don't know if you have any TV news, but
I do.
The
I have a tiny
Fallout show is supposed to be coming out the 12th.
Yes.
It has now been bumped up to April 10th.
Okay.
It's coming out April 10th at 6 p.m.
So that's like Wednesday?
Yes.
Ooh.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All 8 episodes.
Oh, man.
So I hope
I
to
know what I'll
watch.
be doing Friday.
I hope to watch as many as I can, so on Monday we can talk about it.
Well, I was going to watch it Friday. I was going to just binge it. Just go for it.
I will probably binge it over the weekend.
Because I don't know how long it is. Is it an hour-long episodes or half-an-hour episodes? That's the difference. If it's half an hour episodes, I'll get that out of there in no time. 4 hours,
Yeah, I don't know.
that's an easy peasy. Hour-long episodes, that's when it gets a little more difficult.
If I had to guess, this is a Prime show. I bet you the first
45
episode.
minutes.
I bet you 45 to half an hour.
Yeah.
Anyway, so looking forward to that. Also,
Yeah.
they just announced the show is not even out. They're going to be doing season 2.
Yeah.
So season 2 has been announced.
Yeah.
Fallout season 1 is going to hit April 10th. So we will be talking about it next week. So prepare yourself for spoiler talk
Yeah.
because it's all dropping out at
Yeah.
once. So
And I know we've been kind of distracted with other stuff, but X-Men 97's been amazing.
you know what? Oh my God.
You forgot it was on?
I haven't watched the past episode 2.
Yeah.
What are we on episode 4?
I think so.
All right, I can catch up on that.
Yeah.
I mean, before it gets to the finale,
Yeah.
I'll be caught up, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
definitely talk about that when the
Yeah.
finale happens.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Dude, you know why? I've been so focused with everything else in my life. I
Yeah.
forgot. A lot of shows have been slipping.
I mean, it's been big. You lost your virginity. It's a lot of stuff to worry
Yeah, it's a
about.
big-
Yeah, a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a big occurrence for you. Totally understandable that you'd be forgetting these things.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lanta.
Oh, my land. I knew you were going to do that.
Anyway,
Yes.
you have TV news?
That was it. X-Men.
Oh, okay.
I watched
Okay.
X-Men. It's really good.
Now, before we...
Besides that, not much else going on. Not much. Oh, well, they released the Daredevil cast, basically.
Well, we knew everybody was going to
Yeah,
be in it because
yeah.
all the leaked photos.
But Bernthal's back as Punisher.
Yes.
Bullseye is going to be in it.
Yes. The whole cast is back.
Yeah, basically the whole cast from the original
Yes.
Netflix one.
And the showrunner is actually the guy who did the Punisher series for Netflix.
Yeah,
So it's in
which
good
is awesome.
hands. It's in good hands. Like our group chat, I'm reserving my excitement for seeing that first episode.
It's hard for me to keep up with our group chat, so
It's
I
gotta
might
wow
not
me.
see things that happen in the group chat because I don't have time to go through all 3 group chats.
There's too many group chats.
There's 3 with the same people in it, and I can't keep track of what
Yeah, I don't even know.
conversation I'm in.
Me neither.
So I just don't really pay attention.
So
I got too much other stuff going on.
whenever Daredevil Born Again comes out, we will be covering that week to week. That
Yeah.
will be a week to week show because
Yeah,
In
as long as
my
nothing else
opinion-
major is happening.
this show is gotta do it.
It's got to wow you.
It's gotta.
It's got to blow your socks off.
I hope it does. I really do. I'm rooting for it.
All right.
And I'm happy that the cast is back. I'm happy that they're people that from the Netflix
Yeah,
shows are involved.
I'm happy what's her face is back. That's for sure.
Yes. Well, I can't think
I
of
can't think of her
name.
name either, but
Debbie Ann Warhol.
yes,
Did I say her name?
I think
right?
so.
Maybe.
You're close enough.
Josh would know.
Deborah Ann Whirl.
Thank you, Josh.
There
so
we go.
She does
Totally.
D&D stuff.
it's highly what?
She does D&D stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think she used to be part of Critical Role, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
She was on like 2 episodes, I
Yeah, I
think.
think she was like a special guest.
She was like a
thing,
special guest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the True Blood days. Maybe.
You know, she still does it now.
No, I think it was during Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Neat.
so that's exciting. Before we jump into our WrestleMania, like our picks,
Yes, the review.
I do want to talk about yesterday. I did watch the Slammies.
Okay.
I
You're
want
really high. You're like. Let me tell everyone. My wife.
my wife.
My wife. Was we had Bryon over for Sunday at WrestleMania.
She had a good time
She
with
did,
me, right?
But she said to me, she's like, I didn't know Bryon was that into wrestling. I was like, yes, Bryan's totally in.
Coming from the people who are both into wrestling.
No, but she didn't know you were that into it. Like, you showed up with a shirt. You showed up, like, ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
You're, like, asking questions. You didn't know a lot of stuff. So
Well,
we're
there's
teaching
some
you
stuff
things.
that's all new.
But
to
no,
me.
it was just kind of like, she was like, wow. She was like, I didn't think Bryon was that into it. And I was like, yeah, he's jumped in.
I jumped in.
He's dove right in, head first. I think you're almost more into it than I am at this point. Like, you were more excited about things than I was. I was like, cool. And Bryan's like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, that was my first WrestleMania, probably since I was a kid when I was
Yeah.
really into wrestling
Yeah.
growing up. And I eat my words. I was wrong, and I will be wrong again. But man, I poo-pooed it, and I was just kind of like,
Stupid.
It's stupid because I was into it as a kid,
Yeah.
and the moment obviously we all, it's like learning that Santa Claus isn't real. You're just kind of like, it kind of takes the mystique. But as an adult now,
You got to approach it from a different perspective.
Yes.
Instead of thinking of it as
Yes.
like a real thing, think of it as just the athleticism part of it
it's fun,
and the storytelling.
and that's why it's called sports and entertainment.
Well, now it's professional wrestling again. They banned the sports entertainment last night.
What are you talking about? They still say sports and
I
entertainment.
know, but they used to not be allowed to say professional wrestling, but now they're able to again.
Well, needless to say,
Yeah.
my point is this: when I watched it with Allison, who's not into it,
Yes.
she sounded like me at one point.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you just have to go with it.
Yeah.
It's like watching a John Wick movie.
Yeah.
Really.
It is.
Also,
It's like just turning your brain off.
yes,
Kinda. It's
and
like the perfect thing.
You kind of escape, and you get behind certain wrestlers.
You like live in the world for a little
Yeah,
while, and
yeah.
then like you just kind
It's
of.
a nice escape. I'll
Yeah.
give you that much. Also,
It's better than the other stuff on television.
right. Here's the other thing. I know the big thing is like Allison and maybe even me and other people. The argument would always be like, well, it's predetermined. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? We all watch movies and TV shows, and those are all predetermined.
Exactly.
I think
Your elections are mostly predetermined. I threw it out there.
the disconnect is it's a live event,
Yes.
and we associate live events with sporting events,
Yes.
which are not predetermined.
Correct.
So I think that's where the wrestling blurs the line,
Yeah.
and there definitely could be moments that we're not privy to, or we don't
There's
know what's
always
going
a
on.
chance there's things you have to like
Yes.
change up on the.
The spot.
And-
And they're going by the reaction of the audience. If the audience is eating something up, they're going to lead into it.
Yeah.
So,
Like
It's
last
improv.
night.
yeah.
Yeah, like
so,
last night with The Rock, like he
Right.
was supposed to talk way before that, but crowd
Yeah.
was booing him, so
The
he just
crowd
kept, like,
was
holding on.
amazing at Raw. So, anyway, I have definitely found a new love for wrestling, for WWE. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I had a great time coming over and watching with you.
Yeah.
I hope I can do it again
Hey,
for
don't
another
get
event.
away from it. What
Yeah.
was it about the Slammies?
Oh, yeah, back to
so
Slammies,
the
yes.
Slammies. I watched the Slammies. I don't know if the Slammies were normally like this. They were fun, they were funny, ridiculous, but the production value comparatively to the rest of the stuff they do, which is really good.
Yeah.
The Slammies reminded me of Stafford Springs Speedway
Oh, it's
Banquet.
it's like a public access event.
It is so bad.
Yeah, because it's YouTube. It's like the social media department basically does those.
It is. The audio is never right
Yeah.
for certain people.
Yeah.
My favorite is when they cut to a package. They don't cut to the package. They're just on the people
People
standing
waiting.
on the stage in the darkness. And
Yeah.
I'm like, cut to the package. I want to see the package.
Yeah.
The package audio is always off. Like,
Yeah, it's-
it was, but I will give it this. It had all the elements of an award show I
Yeah.
love. They still leaned into people getting booed.
Yeah,
They still leaned into. They had R-Truth.
Yeah.
In the audience having fun.
Yeah.
He was like, "We're at the Emmys, right?"
Yeah.
Like all that stuff.
Yeah.
They were fun. I enjoyed them a lot, but it reminded me
Yeah.
of Stafford
Yeah.
Speedway.
well, because they did them at the World, the WWE World. It's like their experience kind of thing, like their Super Bowl experience kind of
Right,
thing. Where they have
right.
like it's in a convention center and it's very.
You think they just put
Yeah.
a little bit more production value into it?
They used to. I just think they don't care about the Slammies anymore. Really, it's kind of like just like a social media kind of thing.
Yeah, they're fun though.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
fun.
just a thing to. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually.
And the stuff at the World, like the production
Yeah.
quality over there is not very great. Like Pat McAfee's show, the first day on Friday,
Yeah.
the first like half hour of the show, the audio for the
Did you
audience
see
was
that?
not working.
That
So
was
gee.
awful.
it was just like
It was that. And then on Monday, I guess their internet send
yeah,
didn't work, so people are trying to watch it on YouTube,
and
they
I couldn't
weren't
get it
getting
on. Like
anything
I
for,
couldn't get it. I had to
20
watch it
minutes.
on ESPN.
Yeah.
For the first like half hour.
People were complaining that they had to watch TV.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
funny.
yeah,
Well, anyway, they were fun, but the Slammies were very interesting. I've never watched them before. I will definitely watch them every year because I just like it felt like a public access show.
Yeah, it's very low rent.
Very low.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is such a step down compared to what they do for
Oh,
their
yeah.
shows.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here?
Because they don't really have a production team over there. It's just like thrown together.
They really
stuff.
don't care about it. Like it's.
Yeah.
It used to be. Wasn't it part of like a Raw episode at one point?
It used to be. It used to be part of like the actual show.
Yeah.
And then
They
like,
used
it
to.
gradually like moved off, and then it was just like they would just announce the winners on like their website. And now this is the first year.
Well, they
like,
would do
back
like
to,
little like things.
Well, they like I think like a couple years they might have done like Twitter or
Yeah.
TikTok or stuff like that to announce the winners.
Well, this is
and
on
then-
YouTube.
Then they moved back to like doing it on YouTube. This year was the first time.
Yeah. But they were cool.
Yeah.
I had fun. It was a fun show.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I wanted to say about the Slammies. They're
All right.
entertaining, but
Slammies.
very, very low rent, like
Yeah.
you say.
Yeah.
All right. WrestleMania, Mark.
WrestleMania,
Right?
as we call it here in the
WrestleMania.
XL.
yes the. We had multiple times where somebody was getting a perfect score during the WrestleMania challenge. We had one person who didn't do as great as he wanted to, and then we had Bryan.
What are you talking about? I know I did fairly
No, I know.
well.
I was just because Josh was the one that was doing well,
Yeah.
and then I wasn't, and then you.
Oh, that probably
Yeah.
pissed you off.
Well,
Well,
let's find out
yes.
the results,
Yeah.
shall we?
Oh,
So-
wait. What did we do with the guy not being in the match? Is that
We'll get
still...
there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
we'll
get
go
there.
through it
That's
each
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Here we
just
go.
went with the replacement. We didn't really do anything
Okay,
different
that's
there.
fine.
So we'll go in the order of the way we did them, not in the order of the way that the matches happened, because
Right.
I don't remember.
Me neither. Oh, I remember.
Well, I kind of remember, but I don't want to go through that trying to figure out the
Yeah.
card situation. First off, we had the Final Testament against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Street Profits won with Bobby Lashley. We all picked that, so we all got a point for that one. Next up, we had the match where they pulled Dragon Lee out of that match on Friday night and replaced him with Andrade. So it was Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. And Rey and Andrade won. So
Yes.
we all
We all got that.
got a point. So that's 2 clean sweeps to start the
Hey.
the show off, which was great. Then the Damage Control match happened with Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. I did not get that correct. I'd picked Damage Control. I didn't know that they were turning Jade Cargill into a female monster, basically, who's just going to destroy every human that they put her up against.
She's gonna be Beth Phoenix.
Because that's something people want to watch. So Damage Control did not win that match, and then never were seen again during the weekend,
No.
which I thought was strange.
That
they didn't
that
pop up
surprised me
during-
too. They didn't reappear at all.
Yeah, didn't reappear at all during the Bailey Io Sky match. You figured that'd be like the one thing they could have done to kind of mimic the final match of the whole show.
Well, we don't know what's good. I feel like something's going to happen down the road.
but yeah.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
see.
something's gonna happen on Friday, but
Yeah.
I was just like surprised there was
Yeah.
no like even appearance of them.
Right.
Yes. Then we got to the LA Knight versus AJ Styles match, which happened on Sunday. I picked LA Knight. Josh picked LA Knight. Bryan picked AJ Styles. LA Knight won.
Yeah. Now, real quickly,
Bryan was very adamant about this on Sunday.
as I'm watching, going, I should have picked LA Knight,
Yes.
and
But you didn't.
I didn't. I don't know their story.
Yes.
I really didn't know much about them.
Yeah.
I watched the Friday show. That one Friday show, I got a glimpse.
Yes.
And it wasn't enough to really know what was going
Yeah.
on. So, coming out of that match, I enjoy LA Knight more.
Yes. I figured you would.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's snapping to a Slim Jim.
Yes, that was just Slim Jim. Yeah.
Retro.
And they gave the wait. We gotta talk about this. They gave the car
To an old lady.
To an old lady.
Well, like I said, it's just like the
Why?
usual thing. Like old people or random nerds.
Did she
will
mail in all the
enter,
bottle caps or
like
something?
9,000 UPC codes that they have you enter. And,
Her grandkid signed her up probably.
yeah, or she signed up for her grandkids or something. Like her grandkids ate all the Slim
She
Jims.
looked so not excited.
I mean,
She's like, I gotta
She's
pay
gonna
the
sell that thing.
I gotta pay
Oh,
the
she's
taxes on
gonna sell it
this.
for the
She's gonna sell that
taxes.
thing in no time.
She's gonna give it to the kids. She's gonna give it to her grandkids.
Yeah.
I think giving it to someone younger that would have been like, oh my
Well,
god.
I mean, that's not how it works. You kind of just pick the person, and whoever wins wins.
Well,
You don't you can't fix it.
Yeah, it's
Grandma-
not that scripted, Brian.
It's not
Grandma,
like it's not
little-
like the
I really
McDonald's
want to.
Monopoly game.
I really
You
want to
can't,
see old the grandma driving down the road in this little
20
gym
miles an
car.
hour in a Slim Jim car. Get out of the way, Grandma.
It'd be like your grandpa winning it, Brian. It would have been hilarious.
Yeah, it makes no
Hey.
sense to me. Anyway,
Yeah.
go on.
All right. And next up was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship 6-pack ladder match. It was Judgment Day against DIY, against New Day, against Awesome Truth, against A-Town Down, against New Catch Republic. Now, this match was kind of what I said it was going to be, that they were going to split the belts up.
And
They ended up doing
Yeah.
that. A-Town Down Under is the actual name of their team. Were the first team to take down the SmackDown championships. So they could have been a winner that you could have picked,
Yeah.
but they weren't.
No.
And then the Awesome Truth pulled down the Raw Tag Team Championships, which was the other team. So you technically had 2 right answers you could have in this.
Right.
Brian got neither.
No.
And Josh and I both picked Awesome Truth. So each got 2 points on that one.
And yet again, last week I said, Awesome Truth. There was something going on with them.
Yes.
Winning accidentally. To me, it was like, oh, would they really do it?
Yeah.
And they would have been my second pick.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
I was
but
surprised
like
he
our
did it that way,
truth.
too.
Yeah.
I was
He's
surprised
awesome.
he full on went, we're splitting the belts, and
Well, I figured this was the perfect time to do it. If you're
Oh,
doing
no,
a
but
ladder
just-
match and having the 2 belts hanging, and then when they said the whole thing of even if each belts had to be taken down separately, then that's
Yeah.
them being we're getting rid of the
yeah, I just thought it was funny how they sort of
One tag
implied,
team
oh,
thing.
you got the belts, now go get the other ones, and then,
well, because it was the only thing left that was only one belt.
yeah.
They'd broken up and came up with the World Heavyweight Championship,
Yeah.
and then they came up with the the women's belts were split up. There was never so tag team was the only one that was Right. left that was
Yeah, because the women's were the red and the blue belt, and then they did the same thing with
yeah
the men's was the red and
belts,
blue belt, but
they
then they did the
changed them up. Yeah.
black belt and the red and blue one
Yeah.
rotated, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I thought it was crazy was when Damien was going to climb the ladder, and he told the ref to shut up because the ladder was collapsing.
Well, he
Yes.
didn't realize it.
No, I know, but
until he
she's
got halfway up the
screaming.
ladder, and then the ladder started to fall on him, and he was
And he had to
oh,
switch
man.
out the ladder.
Then the Miz jumped on the other side, and the whole thing started to collapse on him.
I was like, oh, I was so.
Damien quickly ran back down the ladder so he didn't fall over, and it didn't shatter on him. Then they were like, R-Truth had to hand him a ladder basically
yeah.
because they had to change the ladder out.
And the guy being swung around, holding the ladder.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah. The next match we had was the Battle of the Usos, Jay versus Jimmy. Jay Uso took down that win.
I think we all knew that was way to go. That
Yes, that
that
was a
one
clean
scene
sweep.
though when his brother was like, "I'm sorry," he's like, and everybody's just kind of like,
I was just I think that's something only an older brother would be able to catch.
we've seen this happen in
Or a
WWF.
younger
No,
brother.
but I mean more than
WWE.
I just going from the brother thing.
right.
Yeah.
If Josh was to do that to me, if we had a falling out and he was like, "I'm sorry," I'd be like, "Dude, f you. I'm not gonna come over and shake your hand
But he did.
because I'm waiting on you to just punch me. You're just gonna punch me."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not dumb. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
walk over
But
there.
he went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've seen that before.
That's definitely an older brother to a younger brother thing. That's something a younger brother would be like, "Oh, okay."
yeah.
When
Yeah,
you were younger.
Even I was sitting there going,
But
come
when we were
on.
younger, though, that's something I could have done to you. Like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yeah, oh, yeah,
I'm
the
sorry."
pull up,
Then,
"Oh,
you
I
get
didn't
close, it's
mean
like,
it.
wham, and just
Yeah,
whap
and-
you one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
you're dumb enough to fall for that. It's your problem.
But that was a
Dumbass.
good match. Overall, it was an
Yes.
awesome match.
Yeah. We then moved on to a match none of us got correct. The United States Championship match.
Yeah.
We either thought Randy or Kevin Owens would win, but unfortunately, Logan Paul held on to his championship.
Yes. Yeah. None of us wanted Logan Paul to win.
Hopefully, they do something about that because God dang, I don't want to listen to Logan Paul talk ever again.
Yeah. Disappointing.
Yes.
Did you
Next-
did you see him on Pat McAfee at all?
Yes, the thing
He
where they were
broke
trying to like
kayfabe and,
turn
like,
him
everyone
into
was
being
freaking
a
out
good
about
guy.
it.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to.
Where are we on points right now, Mark? If you can give, is that possible?
I know I could give you the Saturday breakdown, but that's about it. I can't give you like
Okay,
exactly
all
where
right.
we are.
Continue.
Right now.
I'm sorry. I don't want it to derail you.
Yeah. We then moved on to the Intercontinental Championship, which Bryan was the only one to get correct. He went for the underdog Sami Zayn over
Yeah.
Gunther.
Yes.
I thought they
Gunther!
were going to keep Gunther going, but they decided that they're going to spin him off onto something else.
The way that story was going.
I know. I figured that was too many finisher stories.
But
Yeah.
here is why.
How many finisher stories
This
can we have
was
in one
this
show?
was the clue for me. They constantly said we're in Philadelphia. This is the Rocky story. This is the
Yeah, I
Rocky
know,
story.
I know.
I'm
I
like,
just-
why would you mention this is the Rocky story so many times
you literally had-
without the Rocky winning?
You literally had 3 finisher stories on this WrestleMania.
But this is WrestleMania.
Which I thought about yesterday. I was like, you had the Sami Zayn story, which is a finisher story, redemption story.
Yeah.
You had the Bailey finisher story,
Yes.
redemption story. The exact same story, basically. And then you had Cody Rhodes's finisher story. It was like 3 of the same story, basically, just with different people in a different time frame.
Well, then if you think about the men's tag was literally them saying we have to end a story because
Yeah. Well, they had to end the story to get to another story, which we'll talk about
and
in a
then
second.
Sami Zayn now he's got some new stuff starting up from.
He's gonna go against Chad
Monday.
Gable, but it's like, what's that gonna do with anything? It's like you're not gonna like take the belt off Sammy
No.
next week.
No.
So what are you gonna do then? Change Chad to a bad guy? I mean, that's like
They're going to build to something new.
so
but
the angry short guy.
I
mean, that's
honestly,
a story we've never seen before.
I felt like Sami Zayn and Gunther was basically a smaller version of what Cody was going through. It was just a
well,
smaller
it would have been if
version
they
of that.
actually used Imperium correctly and had Imperium helping Gunther to win against Sami Zayn, and like did it that way where Gunther was like, you have to go through my plebes basically.
Well, they used Uso.
to get there.
The last Monday Night Raw, Uso came out
But I mean, if they used
and helped
like,
Gunther.
but if they used the like the Imperium guys like they did last night,
Yeah.
who came out,
Yeah.
but did it that way during the actual story where he had to go through each guy,
Yeah,
and they would keep
I
beating
get
him
it,
up
but
every time.
they got to keep
Even
it
if they
concise.
won, like
in
you would beat the
WrestleMania.
guys.
They got to keep it
Yeah.
keep it.
That's
concise.
I just yeah.
Well,
But anyway.
didn't Sammy fight them earlier?
No, yeah, but like really earlier on though.
Yeah,
not
that's what
like
I'm saying
on the
is-
lead up to it. Like I thought, like if they had him like fight the 2 guys from Imperium and he'd beat those guys, but as soon as he'd beat them, he'd then get jumped by the other one,
Yeah.
and then like have it so he's like basically, but then it's basically the Cody story. So
Yeah, you
Well, then
can't.
do you think they might pull the, now he has the belt, he's going to fight Chad, and during the Chad and Sammy fight, Imperium comes out and...
yeah, I think that's gonna
I was
happen. And I
wondering,
also don't
because
know.
that's what I
If,
was thinking.
I also was thinking too last night, like are they gonna move Gunther on, or are they just going to pull Gunther out for a little bit and then bring him back as they head into the pay-per-view in Germany, and then have him like win the belt back in Germany, the Intercontinental Championship back.
I almost
You
think
could.
they're...
It's like
it's
give
like a
him like a
holding
break 'cause he
pattern
just got
type of-
married, so maybe he's like doing his honeymoon situation.
Gunther.
Gunther.
All right,
But moving on, we had the
Yeah.
Women's World Championship, which was Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
the one match I was looking forward to.
One match you were looking forward to, and honestly, it was probably the worst match of the whole weekend.
Sadly.
Becky ended up catching strep throat during the week leading up to WrestleMania.
Yep. And
She
sick.
was not looking well. She
No.
looked very pale. I could tell they were like I thought they were trying to make up her up a little bit to make her look more alive, basically. Because I guess she had like 102 fever like the night before WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, they said
So
she's
if
had
she's
a
like
fever.
barely able to get out of bed in the past like 3 days. They
So-
probably like shot her up through full of IV and.
Did we all get that right though?
No, I'm the only one that picked Becky, and you guys got it right.
My heart wanted Becky to win,
Yeah.
but I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen. Now, that match, was the one match I was really looking forward to. But
Yeah.
coming out of WrestleMania, there was a lot of matches that were fantastic,
Yeah.
and this was the weakest of the whole weekend. I do
Yeah.
agree. It just
And you could tell that she was really sick because she didn't show up last night.
right. Yeah.
If she was feeling any better, they would have brought her back last night to like keep the story going, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Or
they've moved
showing
her
up
on
when
to
Cody
Liv.
won, when everybody
Yeah,
went out
but they
there.
moved her on to Liv. So
Spoilers.
what?
Spoilers.
Well, everybody knows that Cody won, but
Yeah.
so yes, I feel like I don't know where the story's gonna go. If Becky, if they're still gonna go,
Yeah.
if that story's gonna continue, we do know after Monday Night Raw, there Liv
Liv's
Morgan
going back for a revenge tour.
attacked Rhea in the
Almost
hallway.
took her eyeball out. Do you see that last night?
Yeah,
Jeez Louise.
dude, she jumped her.
She wanged that chair across
Dude,
the
so
room.
it's gonna get interesting. And I hope
Man, you
Becky
could
gets
tell that
better
she
because
was not expecting it to come like that.
no.
It like did not come off their Liv's hands correctly.
And I'll say, leading up to this match, though, all the Becky fights that have been happening have been fantastic.
Yeah.
So you knew she wasn't feeling
It was
well.
something weird.
They
Well,
just
there
had
was
it.
no.
It was quick.
And Rhea was hurt too.
Yeah,
she was
She was
fine.
on
some
Pat
wrist thing.
McAfee.
She's had like
she
a
had her
wrist
hand
thing.
in
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
like a
But she's gonna have
weird.
to have like surgery on sooner or
Yeah.
later. But
But
she's
Yeah.
just she can wrestle with it. But when she's not wrestling, she has to put a.
so it was
brace
it was
on
a
to
good
hold it in
match,
place.
but it was probably the least exciting one.
Yeah.
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 Unfortunately.
Yeah. Next match we had was the WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Bailey, who debuted new theme music, not the song Josh was wanting to hear. I'm assuming she should not come out
Boo.
to the Hugger music, which we talked about. Brian and I were talking about it Sunday. It's like I don't think you can do the Hugger anymore in 2024.
Well, and then
You know,
then
that'd
she
be-
came out like as like an Egyptian goddess thing, and I
Yeah,
thought
that was
weird.
strange
That
too.
was kind of cool. I liked it.
Well, it,
I think
it
it'd be-
looked cool, but
It looked
I
cool.
didn't get the.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just
You
for
know.
WrestleMania or if that was like the new thing that she's going with.
Yeah.
But
we'll
if
figure it
she's
out
saying
on-
she's a queen, if she's saying she's the Egyptian
Yeah, well, then
queen,
that
But that's what I
kind
mean.
of-
Is that
but
was
she's
the
not
weird
Egyptian,
thing. It was
though.
like
so
it,
It's like,
it,
you
it
can't just
didn't.
say she's a
It
queen.
just didn't fit. You know?
Yeah, it was a weird vibe. It didn't really work out. But we'll see how her,
I guess I'm the only one who liked it.
we'll see what
Well, I
her
liked it. It was just
intro
weird.
is on Friday and see if it's something different.
Yeah.
She could do something different. That's happened before. They've
But it's
done
also
something at one-
WrestleMania. They have to make
Yeah,
things
and then
bigger
switch
than
it
up.
life.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah. But Bailey ended up winning that one. Everybody got that one right except for Brian, who picked Io Sky.
Yet again, this is
Yet
a
again.
storyline
It's a
I wasn't
SmackDown
familiar
storyline.
with. But coming out of that,
You'll be more prepared for the next show because you were going to start watching SmackDown now.
Yeah.
So.
I will say I'm on Team Becky. Even though I didn't pick her, I'm glad she won.
I mean Bailey?
Bailey.
Yes.
Whatever.
She did win.
Yeah, she did win. Bailey won.
You could,
So many names.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm happy she won, even though I didn't vote for her. I don't know that
Yeah.
story, and I will watch SmackDown, so I'll
Yeah.
know more
And
about it.
it's a long story if you go all the way back.
Well, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
going to
yeah.
do
Don't
that.
No,
Don't
no,
dive
just
into it.
saying.
Don't dive into
It's
that.
a
rabbit
long
hole.
story to begin with.
My
and then-
brother, believe it or not, when we went to New Hampshire, he literally gave me the background on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice.
Yeah. Next up, before we get to the two big championship matches, we're going to get into the biggest tag team match in the history of WrestleMania. Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody. Rock and Roman took down the win, which technically, in my opinion, was like the only way it could have happened.
Yes.
That would have made the story make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rock and Roman won. Josh did not pick that. One
No.
of Josh's few incorrect answers, and Brian picked Rock and Roman as well as I did. So yeah, that was a pretty straightforward match. We
Yeah.
kind of just figured they were just gonna make it a squashy kind of match.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Basically, was Rock like pulled his power trip and forced the ref to not count out people and threatened to fire people and
That okay.
beat up a referee. So
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole bloodline
Yeah.
rules and everything. That last match on Saturday night, I had Allison watch it, and she was just like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
That was really fun.
yeah,
That was entertaining. The Rock was amazing.
yeah,
That was an awesome match.
yeah.
Went on from like an hour.
It did 45 minutes actually.
Yeah.
They went off to the World Heavyweight Championship match, which opened up night 2 of the event.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. We technically, some people did get this right because they said Drew McIntyre, who did win and had the belt for a total of 5 minutes and 46 seconds.
Now,
Yeah.
what do we do for points? Because now he technically lost it.
Well, because we're
He
not
won
going
the
off that. We went
match.
off the match that happened, not the match that happened after.
He won
that.
the match.
Gotcha.
Now, if you had said that, what I was thinking about doing is saying if you can then put on here that you do, that Damien would cash in, and if he doesn't, then you lose the points that you would have gotten,
You could
or would double the points that you had gotten.
you could do whoever has the cash in for the next big event, right?
Well, it won't happen until after the next.
Right. I'm
Money
just
in the
saying
Bank.
for the future.
Yeah.
It's an idea. Maybe make that like you can add that person to whatever match.
Yeah,
you
when
think-
will he cash in?
And
if you put it on there.
get it right, maybe you get a substantial amount of points.
Yeah, and if you don't, you lose all your points.
But yeah, that
No,
like,
maybe you lose that
okay.
point.
You lose those amount
like
of points.
maybe he's worth 10 points.
Yeah.
Maybe if you were to get the correct match, he
But then if you
cashes
get
in
it wrong, you can't use it again.
Well, yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
It's
You
Joe-
can't like every time be like,
No.
oh, maybe you gotta do this one.
It would be a bonus points. I
Yeah.
think it would just be bonus points.
Yeah.
After we do our whole ticket, we
Yeah.
could say the cash in will be on this match.
Yeah. Okay.
It could be fun. That could
Sure.
be fun to do.
Yeah.
Well, like we do sort of that with like the hockey stuff,
Yeah.
and we do like if you think this guy's gonna get a point or whatever,
Yeah.
it's a what
You
they
get
call
your-
like a
you get
super
double-
bonus.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get double
you get
But if you
super
points.
don't,
bonus.
but if you use your super bonus, you don't
Yeah.
get any points.
Right.
I'm
right.
kind
I
of
think
thinking about
that's a little
maybe
bit
doing
too
that with the
much.
draft, since we'll talk about that. About
Oh yeah,
Raw,
draft
but-
too. Yeah.
But then the match to end all matches, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, the champion Roman Reigns went up against Cody Rhodes, and as you heard earlier, Cody Rhodes won.
He finished his story.
Finished his story.
And boy,
Everybody, one of us, picked Cody to win,
yes,
and he did.
that was a good match.
Going out of Saturday, I had 5 points, Josh had 7 points, and Bryan had 7 points. So there was a tie.
Oh, yeah, it's tie with Josh.
But at the end of all of it, I had 11 points, Josh has 13 points, and Bryan has 12 points.
Second place, baby.
So 11, 12, 13. So really only it's a one championship match.
Yeah, that
Difference.
was
yeah.
So
really
I still think
no
they're pretty
one,
good.
Like
I think
ran
they're pretty
away
good.
with it, which I was surprised by.
Yeah, I did. Listen, I was paying attention. I'm paying attention. The you could see the breadcrumbs on some of these storylines and where
Yeah.
they're gonna go. If you're not paying attention, I think it's easy to miss. Like the Sami Zayn thing, I'm like, you cannot be telling me this is the Rocky match 3-4 times leading up to it and not have Rocky win. That makes no sense to me. So, but anyway, WrestleMania was awesome. I had a fun time. This was fun.
So out
We'll
of a total
definitely
of
do it
20
again.
points that were up for grabs.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad
Yeah.
for all of us.
So you got over half.
Yeah,
Half right.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no one really lost.
No one
No,
got
nobody
like,
bombed.
really bad. No one like got like 4 points.
Right. Nobody bombed out, which
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
We're all pretty.
And we did decide
Equal.
on Sunday, Josh. We talked about this. Brian and I talked about this as the show was going on. That we're gonna make this up and break this up into 4 seasons,
Oh,
and then do one like year-long event season. So we'll have a winner at the end of each season between each of the 4 big events,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll end it at the end of
WrestleMania.
no, what would be
no
the one before WrestleMania?
The one before WrestleMania. Will be,
Oh, yeah. No, isn't WrestleMania the big?
Well, no, WrestleMania
Yeah,
is
it's
the
the start
kickoff,
of our
so it's the
season.
start of the season. So we'll do it. As
Oh,
the,
felt
It's
like the
NASCAR
end,
style.
though.
Daytona, big one first.
Yeah.
WrestleMania feels like the end and the beginning of the new. Kind of feels like it's that.
well, it would be. It's like the dovetail. So it'll end and it'll also start the next.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're whatever. I'll go
We'll
whatever
figure it
you
out.
say.
We'll figure it out.
Whatever Mark says, I'm
Yeah.
I'm game.
So yeah. So there you go. And then we ended up in yesterday.
Yes, I watched
Raw.
Monday Night Raw this morning. Wow.
Yeah.
I love the little video package they had for Cody.
Yes, I love the fact that they were trying to fit enough people into the building that they didn't put up the big jumbotron.
But they had a jumbotron above them.
Yeah, but instead of doing that, so instead of having it on like the big Titantron screen that they would usually have,
I know, the little tiny
they had to
screens.
roll out like this kind of thing
Yes.
and put it
I was
behind.
about to say.
I was like, hey, I know that stand.
But they had
I was like,
the
we're just the same
Jumbotron
stands as
above them,
WWE
so
does.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, but it
was just funny
it's
'cause you
different
actually,
than the
if you-
Titantron, which is
Yeah,
I
if
know.
you saw the
That
wide
whole
shot, they
side.
literally had like a TV like this
Yes.
pointing towards the ring, and then
Yeah.
they had another one on
Pointing-
the opposite side pointing towards the announcers.
Yes.
So they could see it too.
Yeah.
So
I
it was
saw.
just kind of
because
funny. that they
basically,
were like,
if you were close to the ring,
Yeah.
you couldn't see the jumbotron because it's
yeah,
like
because you're too high, you're
Right,
too close.
right.
you know,
So they
it's
had
too
like
much of an
literally
angle.
put like TVs around the ring so people could see it from the different sections.
I
and
thought
stuff.
it was a great video. I was even getting a little emotional, especially when they showed his dad at the very end. I
Yeah.
thought that was very
Mhm,
nice. And Triple H coming out there, like it's like you can tell this is a new beginning for WWE. They're really hammering it home with that. And then The Rock coming out. That
Yes.
was
Yeah,
so.
it was very awkward.
Well, no, The Rock
He
is
gave off a very creepy vibe last night.
yeah, The Rock is going after Cody
Well, I understand that, but still, it was just his
with the whole
instead of being like angry Rock, he was like creepy stalker Rock, which was kind of strange.
well, he's
like, I want to hold your belts.
yes, yes.
You could hold my belts.
Yes. What do you think he gave him?
I had two thoughts on it. It was either a Hall of Fame ring of some sort,
His dad's?
maybe, but I don't know why Cody would have given him that or how Rock would have gotten it.
Well, he is a chair guy.
No, we can't like just go grab his Hall of Fame ring.
No,
I
he had-
initially- I really
they would
thought-
have
He
his,
can.
Hall
He
of
can
Fame
do
ring.
anything he
Then the other
wants.
He
thought
went
that's-
into the Hall of Fame before, so they would have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the other,
No, not Rock. Cody and the family would have his Hall of
yeah,
Fame
would
ring.
have Dustin's
I know,
Hall of
but
Fame ring.
let's think story wise. He basically said, "I'm going to be disappearing for a while." We all know he's doing a movie.
Yes.
When I come back, I like that belt, and he's like
Well,
now
I think
he's
the other
laser
thing I've
focused
heard
on Cody.
online, and it makes more sense, is he gave Cody one of the rocks off of Roman's necklace.
That would make sense.
Oh,
Because technically, since Roman was wearing the necklace into the match,
Yeah.
Cody defeated him fair and square.
he would become the leader.
Technically,
of the head of
Cody
the
is
table.
now the tribal chief. And the only way Rock can become tribal chief is if he beats Cody now, and not Roman.
That's interesting.
So he gave him one of the rocks, and he's like, "You broke my heart because you took away my chance to win it from one of my family members. Now I have to win it from you.
And he said, "You'll know when you smell."
You know what
what the rock is
but
cooking.
you can feel it in your hand. So I could tell like it would be a rock would be make
Right.
more sense.
And you know what? I think that's probably a really good guess,
Yeah.
Mark, because
Well,
what
the internet
he said,
sleuthed it out before I did.
what he said and alluded to,
Yeah.
and we don't see it. Yet again, this plays into the fact that what did he whisper? Well, you'll know. I'm going to make you bleed.
Yeah,
But
make you
this,
bleed your own blood.
this is kind of like, this is like, yet again, we have a little mystery box.
Yes.
He's going to disappear. Cody's going to have to do his own thing. And then now Cody and The Rock, which I think will be a fantastic
Yeah.
match. When
But
that
then my thought
happens.
was, okay, so if that's the case, and he said the whole thing of whether you're champion or not, when I come back, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if he's not champion,
He's going to be champion.
then whoever would beat Cody would then become technically the tribal chief. So then why wouldn't you then go
Right.
after that person?
I think he's just saying.
wait,
I know.
going
He's
off
just
of that,
saying.
though,
I know,
Mark,
but it was just the
going
way
off
they-
what you're saying. Cody would have to walk in as the tribal chief, not just in a match, right? Because
well-
if Roman wasn't wearing a necklace, would it have counted?
Well, I guess
towards
we'll find out more on Friday
Yeah.
about what that's going to look like. And if Roman even shows up, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And if
No,
if Roman doesn't show up on Friday, then like what happens with the rest of the bloodline? Like they're just going to just
I think they're going to
Go out on their
disappear.
own?
They're going to disappear for a little bit
yeah.
because they've been defeated. They can't. They have to. I think The Rock's going to come back, and I think the Rock and Cody match is going to be massive.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to wait for WrestleMania.
Well, then-
but
but
we'll
then
get
you
it
also
sooner
have-
than later.
The other thing that happened Monday, which was the 4-pack for the number one contender.
Yes.
Yes.
So does anyone think that the bloodline might get involved in that as well? Because it's the Uso thing,
Maybe. I don't know. It kind of seems like it's
It's just feels.
It feels like the match with Cody was like the end of the Bloodline story, basically.
Well, because they have
Yes.
no power
And to
anymore,
keep
really.
like having that go along.
They
and,
gotta
like,
put it
them,
away.
Like,
They have to put
like
it away.
Jimmy going after Jay and stuff. It feels like it kind of like has run its course at this point.
Yes.
Like
They have
Jay
to figure out
beat
something
Jimmy.
with Solo.
And Solo like was like yelling at Roman, and Roman's like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. Jeez, wait a second. I'm an old man. Give me a minute. So I don't know. It feels like they've done great with the other stories, and now it's like all these ancillary stories. It's like they have to try to figure out how to, like, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they know what they're doing. They get paid to do this. I don't. Like finding out, it'd be interesting to figure out what they're going to do with like the Jay and the Solo and like what happens
Paul.
to that. Well, yeah, like does Paul keep coming around, and without Roman, is Roman going to appear? Like, how's that going to work?
I feel like Roman's
Like,
gonna
when's the first time
disappear.
Roman like comes back? And like the thought I had just now as I was saying it out loud was like the thought would make sense to me would be to have Rock beat Cody at SummerSlam or something, and then you then bring Roman back, and he's now trying to like he's like coming back to like reclaim his throne, but you've kind of made him now the babyface going after Rock, who's like taking over the bloodline and
Basically
taking over
make
everything
Rock
from Roman.
ultimate bad.
I feel like
And like Roman's
Cody's
now
gonna
like
have
the
it for a
defeated
while.
guy. No, I know, but I'm saying that's like the other way you could do it, you know. But
Could.
we'll see.
I do want to go back to the
But the four-way match
what?
ended with Drew about to Claymore kick Jay into oblivion.
Yes.
But then a sneaky CM Punk appeared.
Oh yeah, we didn't
Yes.
really talk about that during
Puxatawny
the.
Phil appeared from underneath the ring
He-
to declare there's 6 more weeks of winter.
Right. He is really the Achilles heel.
He keeps grabbing him around the ankle.
Yes.
Ew.
Hey.
Get it? You get the imagery they're putting there.
Yes.
That he's
the heel.
Drew's Achilles heel.
Yeah. Man, I feel bad for McIntyre. CM Punk will not let this guy
And I think I heard a
win.
thing this morning of
It's going to be
one
good
of
when CM
the
Punk
show I
wrestles
watch
again.
that reviews wrestling and all that, and they made a good point that Drew brought up the whole thing about the Money in the Bank and it being like the reason why he lost and everything.
Yeah.
That now sets up Drew as the perfect person to win Money in the Bank, to continue his like hypocrite character of him now having the Money in the Bank.
You think you will?
Yeah,
When
I
do
think
they
that'd
do
be-
that again?
I think that's around May or so. No,
Yeah,
not
it's like
May.
a couple. It's,
Like June,
yeah,
July, maybe.
I'll
Okay.
check.
Yeah.
Well, I really want Drew McIntyre to take down CM Punk. I want to see that match. But people love CM Punk.
They do.
And he is a great foil.
Yeah.
He is. He's really good
Yeah.
at what he's doing.
And I
I
love
like
hitting
what
true,
they're doing
so.
here. It's really...
Yeah. And in the midst of all this, Damian Priest is the champion, which seemed to be
So
an afterthought.
Judgment Day has yet again another belt with
which
them.
seemed to be very much of an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, by the way, we also have Damian Priest.
Oh,
as the champion.
July.
Here's the heartbreaking video package for Cody Rhodes and his championship win,
Yeah.
which is technically the SmackDown championship on the Raw show. But you know, by the way, Damian Priest also won a belt. But let's send out R-Truth and
Ooh.
Miz to distract
Okay.
them in there.
That
So
okay?
wait,
What?
Money in the Bank.
Yes.
It's going to be Money in the Bank weekend.
Yes.
So it starts with SmackDown on Friday,
Correct.
Money in the Bank on Saturday in Toronto,
Correct.
and then finishing up with NXT Heatwave on Sunday.
Correct.
Gotcha.
But it's so
And then
it's
Raw
July.
on Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's like a whole. They're selling tickets for the whole weekend.
Well, that's
Well,
a big
because they're
weekend.
keeping Heatwave in Toronto, whereas Raw's
Right.
not in Toronto that
Yeah.
Monday.
No, no. Just,
So last night that was awesome with Awesome Truth and John Cena
Yes.
joining in.
Yes.
John Cena came out of
Get the
nowhere.
wrestler with
Little
his
Jimmy.
childhood hero.
The three of them just went to town.
Oh yeah, that was just Cena's in town still. We might as well use him.
I think John Cena might be back for a little bit. You think?
No, he's going after
No, he's got a movie.
and then he has Peacemaker.
No.
Two.
he's
Well,
got
two.
movie and TV shows.
Yeah, he literally said on Pat McAfee's show that he's off on Monday. He said like he's off after this to go back to
He
filming
says
a
he's
movie
back,
that he stopped
but
during
he's
the
not
COVID.
back for a while.
Well, no, the movie he stopped during the strike
Right.
restarts next month.
Yeah. But
And
he
then-
he said something like he's not done,
Yeah,
but he's also not back.
yeah.
well,
he's got stuff to
anyway,
do.
Needless to say, he's back in my heart.
Yeah,
it
because
was
then
great to see him.
Peacemakers comes out. Season 2 kicks off after that movie that he's filming.
But it was still cool.
Yeah.
It was still cool.
And we did finally get The Rock finally got to have his DC battle.
Oh,
as
yeah,
Black Adam
true.
versus Peacemaker.
Yes, we did. We get.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to Sunday night real quick. During that match, we had Bloodline Rules. We had The Rock shows up. John
Cena showed up
Cena
first.
shows up.
The brothers fought each other, threw each other off a stage.
But
That was
the
hilarious.
big moment of the night, you hear the bell,
The dong.
the dong from Undertaker's theme. It goes
Brian
completely.
kept saying it all night.
What?
Oh, the dong. I was like, Brian,
Drop the dong.
stop saying the
I
dong
didn't say that.
over and over
It goes
again.
completely black.
Oh, the dong.
The lights come up. The Undertaker is face to face with The Rock.
Yes.
Grabs him by the neck.
Yeah.
Picks him up. Does the Undertaker.
Yes.
Move.
Choke slam.
Throws him on the ground. It goes completely dark.
Yes.
And The Rock, John Cena,
Yes.
the Undertaker all disappear.
Yeah.
Thanos style.
Yeah, Thanos style. He snapped him.
The only people are
Seth.
Seth, Cody, and
Roman.
Roman.
Seth stands up in his shield garb.
Yeah.
He was Cody's shield.
Which was nice symmetry since he had told Cody that he would be his shield. And he came out as Shield Seth.
It made me like Seth freaking Rollins a little bit more
And
because
took the chair shot from Roman.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
betrayal of Roman.
It was nice to see him not like I thought like well is he gonna turn?
And I'm
But-
pretty sure we won't see Seth for a while now either.
Yeah.
Gotta heal him up.
Yeah. I think there's some bigger stories coming his way
Yeah.
because I think what he did was really good for Cody. So I feel like there's an ally.
Yeah.
They're going to be allies
Yeah.
for a little bit longer now.
Like we said earlier, there's also at the end of this month the draft,
Yeah.
which is happening the same weekend. They're very smart. They did a very smart move. It's actually happening the same weekend, I believe, as the NFL draft.
Oh, really?
So you're kind of hitting both sections there. So you can. And I would love to see like them
Especially
do.
all the NFL guys that have been showing up recently.
Well, I was even thinking like as they're announcing, I'm like, oh man, I think it's the same weekend as the NFL draft. And if that's the case, you have Pat McAfee there, who's an NFL guy who does the NFL draft, does like a whole, literally will do a live stream through the whole first round of the draft, which he's done for the past couple of years.
April 25th through the 27th
Is the NFL draft?
is the NFL draft.
Yeah, so there you go. So, like, my thought was, what a great production idea would be to have McAfee's crew do, like, the draft, but have, like, them on
A
a
draft
set
show for
and do, like, the draft special beforehand.
Yeah.
But then also, like, have them, like, set up in the arena as the drafts are being picked. And then, like, they go back to them and be, like, break down the draft. And, like, have, like, McAfee, like, host, like, a draft, like, breakdown sessions of each draft pick and everything. Like, oh, this guy's going to be great. He's done this and blah, blah, blah. Or this lady or this girl's going to be an awesome move to, big pickup for them. And, like, break it down and do the whole thing. Kind of mimic the NFL. I think that'd be awesome.
There you go. I'll check out the draft.
Yeah, it's your first one.
Yeah.
And drafts are exciting.
Speaking of first ones, I'm going to segue right into this because we're going to wrap it up.
We're going to talk about losing your virginity again?
No.
Okay.
At Raw, we
Yes.
had Perez and Hartwell, and if I'm not mistaken,
Roxanne Perez, the women's
NXT,
champion.
and that was her first Raw.
It was. And
Yes.
Ilya Dragunov, his first Raw as well.
I
Yes.
was going to say.
So
The NXT champion, who's
So-
put himself into the draft pool.
right,
And that's going to be the new thing they're doing this year. This is something that you don't know about this because you've never been a part of it. You've never seen these before. Usually it's just Raw and SmackDown that draft back and forth. Or you can draft up from NXT. But this year they're opening it up to all three brands. You can draft from anywhere. So you can be on Raw and get drafted to NXT. You can be on SmackDown, draft to NXT. So that's going to make a
I
whole
thought
nother...
NXT is kind of like the minor leagues.
They
Yeah,
are,
but
but they're
guys
like
go
now
back
trying
there.
to like make it into, because they're moving to CW at the end of the year. So it's going to be like a third brand more than it was originally, where it was like the, come up show.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be like people who like lower tier folk,
Because they want the audience
lower
to
down
go
the
there.
card folk.
They want
And
people to
also,
watch.
they've
Get
been doing
some
that. They've been
names
doing that
over there.
recently with like Dom going back there. The
Yeah, like Baron
OGs
Corbin's
going
the
back
tag team
there.
champion.
Yeah,
down
Corbin
there
is
with
tag.
Braun
So
Breaker.
they've been doing. It's almost like old NASCAR.
Yeah.
Whereas Xfinity had
Yeah, well,
a
they
couple
still
of
do,
the
yeah.
champions racing.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
Natalia's battling Roxanne Perez tonight on NXT for the championship. So, stuff like that. So I think that's what they're gonna do is kind of mix it up so it's more.
So it's not it's developmental plus.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so you have
yeah.
some.
You have some folks
name
down there. 'Cause then they
guys
could
and-
also be like coaches at the same time.
Well, and also like, it's not like they haven't done it before where guys have gone from the main show down to.
No, but I was just thinking.
Yeah,
it,
no,
like,
just yeah.
I was just saying too. It makes sense because if you're moving to a new channel like the CW,
You want
which
people
is
to watch.
a broadcast network and not, a cable network, you need the names to get people to tune in. Like your casual fans, like a casual fan's not gonna know who Ilya Dragunov is or Roxanne Perez, but if you put like a Ricochet or like
Yes.
Bronson
Ricochet was on
Reed,
fire
like,
last night too.
or like guys like a Shinsuke Nakamura or someone
Yeah.
like not saying
Oh.
those folks exactly, but like
but their
that
names.
level of names
Yes, they're up and
down
comers.
there.
Yeah.
that could, or
Now-
folks that like might need a refresh or might need a new gimmick.
So
or-
we got some new people from NXT.
yeah,
that
they'll be there
wrestled
every
in
night.
Raw.
They just usually just come to Raw.
Right. So
I'm
that's
assuming, and another thing too is the thing has changed a little bit. Raw after SmackDown used to be the big show because it was literally like the first show of the season, so to speak.
WrestleMania. Yeah.
But they've kind of turned it since SmackDown went to Fox. It's kind of turned into the Raw After Mania is kind of like the highlight version of
Yeah.
WrestleMania. But then SmackDown is like the full on, like, here's where all the craziness starts. Like next Monday, you'll start getting more debuts of people on Raw.
yeah.
And like that's when like this like the season starts, so to speak.
Well, we
Well,
had
yeah, 'cause
two
you need to,
debuts.
You need to wrap up what happened.
Yeah,
And you
but I mean,
can't
like
do it in
usually
the
it's
2
like
hours.
their
You need
free
to-
agent signings start appearing on that
Like,
Raw After Mania.
and then because Andrade
yeah,
signed with Raw, and they did that whole little.
yeah. But,
Oh,
like,
you signed them to Raw, and I'm just gonna pick them in the draft. Ha, 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 ha.
yeah, but
Well-
no, like last year they did like in previous years, like you've had like big names would debut on the Raw after WrestleMania, or big returns would happen on the Raw after WrestleMania, and now it's kind of like it seems like SmackDown Friday will start that. We'll have the big returns or the big free agent signings might appear.
Yeah, yeah.
So Friday should be a good show.
Well, I definitely will be watching Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the other match, I did not see. This match was not for me. I watched it this morning. It wasn't on there, but was Jade versus Chelsea
Yeah,
Green.
Billy took
Oh,
like
it
a
was
minute.
nothing.
You might have
It was-
missed it if you were fast forwarding.
It was a squash.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Jade won,
Yeah.
right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I thought, during WrestleMania, out of those women, Jade, she is going to explode.
They're strapping the rocket to her back, is what they're doing.
She's really good. I
Yeah.
really think so. And she's got the charisma,
Yeah.
and she's got the moves, and she can wreck house.
Yeah.
So I believe
well,
she's going to do
I mean, we haven't seen her do much yet, really.
what we have seen her do.
They've set her up for just
Has been
squashes.
really good, though.
If they're going to set her up for squatches for a little bit, then
well,
I could understand that. Until she starts getting into like an actual program with somebody.
all
But I
I'm
could see her
saying
just like
is
throwing jobbers around for the next
all
couple
I'm saying
months.
is the audience eats
they-
her up.
Yeah.
The audience
They're
loves
probably
her,
waiting
so.
for the draft to actually figure out what
Well,
they're
yeah,
going
see
to
where
put.
like she's going to land and who's going to be on what and everything.
Yeah.
And all that.
I think she's someone to watch out for.
Yeah.
I really do. But other than that, I think we hit upon everything.
Yeah.
So we had some newbies on Raw. We had some big moments on Raw. John Cena was on Raw, which was,
was.
always fun
He
to
was.
watch.
The Rock.
The Rock.
The only thing I will
he's
say,
going
though,
away for a little bit. So
the only thing that was the only downside for me on WrestleMania, and I think this is more just me knowing how stuff sounds because I know television stuff, is when it's an open air situation.
Yeah.
It always seems like it doesn't sound as good. Like last night, only 20,000 people. It sounded like the place was like blowing the roof off it.
Well-
Whereas at the Link over the weekend, they had 70,000 people each night,
but it was open.
and it didn't sound as
Well, it's
Did
open.
you also
It's
notice
open air,
that
you know that.
night one sounded different than night two?
yeah. It's like the
It
audience
was
wasn't
weird
as
because like
into night one.
night
as they were
one
into night
sounded
two.
quiet.
Yeah.
It's almost like they didn't have microphones in the
Yeah,
crowd or something.
I noticed that too, and that's what made me start thinking like maybe there's something. Yeah, at first I was like, oh, maybe it's just because it's open air, but then like on Sunday it sounded different. Then it could just be the different crowds. Like you could
Yeah.
have some people that
But
didn't go to
well,
night one.
A
that just
Saturday
lot,
went
a lot
was
of
to
people
sold
were
out.
talking about how night one definitely sounded completely different
Yeah.
than night two.
Yeah.
I mean, Saturday night they said was sold out, and they had limited seats for Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's sold out both nights, but it's an open arena, so I think when
Yeah.
when I watched the show SmackDown that took place in Foxwoods
yeah.
on TV, that the audience sounded so loud. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
that's what
such
I'm
a
saying, 'cause
smaller
inside,
venue.
Yeah, and inside the
Yeah.
building sounds
Yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah.
Inside sounds different than outside.
Yeah.
Which is what the only thing I am all for them doing bigger shows. I think that's great in the bigger venues. I just feel like, unfortunately, like domes work better. Like when they have
Yes.
not domes, but even just enclosed facilities. Like last year
Well,
was
like
at SoFi,
Texas
where it
has
has a
the
roof,
half dome.
Yeah.
or stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
where you can close the roof and stuff like that. When they did it at the like Arizona Diamondback Stadium, where they have like the open roof that they can close and stuff like that, it sounds better. It
I
sounds
mean,
more intense than
It
it
didn't
does.
bother me much. It was still awesome. But
No, but the
like,
crowd cheering stuff always helps.
yes,
You know.
the crowd was so into it. The
Yeah,
crowd
no,
was
Sunday
so
was
into
way
it
different
for
than
the
Saturday.
final match
I
Saturday.
feel like they just didn't set up the mics right.
Yeah.
You right in there?
Yeah, I'm getting text messages.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, we
Phone
should
too close to the microphone.
we should kind of wrap this up anyway.
Yes.
We've gone on long enough.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We promised this isn't turning into a wrestling podcast. We're gonna get back into doing
There was just nothing else on.
movies and
Well,
TV
this
shows.
was the biggest thing.
Yeah, but when stuff starts happening again, we'll start doing it. But
Yeah,
since
we'll-
there's nothing else on.
We'll split up the time. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out week
Yeah.
by week.
Yeah.
But who cares? I think it's a lot of fun, and it's fun talking about it.
Yeah.
And I, that was
And we
a
appreciate everyone
great-
who's jumping on and getting into watching the show because of the wrestling talk. We welcome you, of course.
Yeah.
We do invite you to join us. We will be doing our next picks for the show Payback, which happens in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of May.
So we're gonna be doing wrestling yet again.
Wrestling again.
I mean, we probably don't have to really talk about Raw and SmackDown
No,
every
no,
week.
no.
We
If
could-
something big happens, we'll bring it up.
We'll
but
bring it up, but
Yeah.
leading
we get
in
to
and
the
after.
pay-per-views, we'll do into the
Yeah.
PLEs, as they call them.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll do that. And we have 2 next month. So I don't know if we're going to do the Saudi Arabia one.
yeah. Sure, why not?
All right.
And
I don't know if you wanted to protest it for, ethical reasons or something.
no,
Okay.
I don't care.
All right. I don't
It's-
care about people.
Are you protesting it?
I was thinking about it.
They were in Saudi Arabia. They've always played Saudi Arabia.
I'm just saying.
This is not the first time.
They wouldn't
I know.
let Sammy fight a couple of years ago.
They wouldn't because he's part Syrian.
Mm.
He wasn't able to, but now he's able to again.
Right. I don't really want to bring politics into my wrestling, so I don't really care. Give me a safe
also,
space, people.
space.
Saudi
Jesus.
Arabia is always weird because they have matches that sometimes that don't mean anything.
Yeah, it's a kind of a glorified house show kind
Right,
of.
right.
That
right,
one.
right.
But we'll see.
This is why I like doing comic shows.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Because I
it's
don't want
only
to talk
certain
about
people,
that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, because only certain.
No,
Because on that side of it, like they don't really take. It's not like as
I know.
important of a PLE as the other ones
I
are.
understand
It's more
why
they
they're
just like
doing it.
throw things. They just throw people out there to, like, who can go or who
I'm going
wants
to
to
watch
go.
it.
Yeah, it
We could
takes place in the middle of the day usually because
we-
it's in Saudi Arabia.
I know.
but-
I remember going to my grandfather's house,
Yeah,
and it was on at like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, why is this on at 2 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
And they told me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I did no idea.
yeah.
And
They'll all be at weird times this year because like they're happening in like all over the
Different-
world. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Clash of the Castles in Glasgow,
Right,
and they
right.
have whatever the Berlin one's called.
Listen, I
So-
say we still do it because it's a big event.
Yeah,
Now, going forward, WrestleMania's over.
Yes.
That was a so you're going to be keeping track of points
we
going
will-
from now.
I will put a thing together that says I'll put up a sheet. I'll put a sheet together that has like what pay-per-views. I'll go through their schedule and figure out how they're doing it.
Yeah.
And figure out where the 4 big things are, and then I'll say like this is going to be our end, like the pay-per-view or the PLE before WrestleMania will be the end of the season.
Okay. You're in charge of this.
Yeah. So we'll kick off with, or maybe I'll end it this year with WrestleMania.
I was just about to say, do you want to
yeah,
just
and then
do
next
a
year,
bookend
the next
for this
year
year
we'll
'cause
start
it's new?
like at Payback. We'll start with the
Right.
next season.
WrestleMania feels like an end,
Yeah.
not a beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're leading up.
It was a good chase to start this, at least. It was a
Yes,
good time to
yes,
start
yes.
this.
But,
yeah, we'll
that was
figure it out.
all lead up. I feel like WrestleMania is sort of like the culmination of everything.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, this week is kind of like the beginning of
Yeah,
something
it's a new
new.
season
Right.
premiere kind of situation.
Right. So I feel like going here
we'll
to
figure it
next
out.
WrestleMania makes
Let's talk
the
about
most
it off
sense.
camera. How about that? Instead of
Well, so
mapping
people
out
know.
everything on the
All right.
show as we should. But yes, no, going back to what I was saying, we will be doing picks again. Feel free to jump on and start doing picks with us. We'll start posting the picks on our social media stuff so you can join along. And yeah, maybe we can figure out something, and maybe I might be working on seeing if we can get a sponsor for it and see if we can give away stuff.
There you go.
So stay tuned for all that and more.
We know people.
We do.
All right, we'll be back next Monday.
We will be.
We're going to be talking about Fallout.
We will be.
That's going to be the big
Oh, Fallout
topic.
and X-Men 97.
I got to catch up on it.
Yeah,
but
we'll
Fallout.
get to that.
I will.
All right.
Well, it's only a couple episodes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back next Monday.
All right. As always, be safe, be well, and be kind.
And rewind. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Josh.
Night, Rocky.
Good night, Rocky.